I'd like you to please join me in welcoming Heidi Munson.
Well, thank you all for coming tonight, and it means so much to me that every one of you would come. I just can't express how meaningful it is. And I too want to thank my husband, who will turn beet red at this point, like he always does. That so many people told me when I got in, do you have your spouse's support? And they said, don't do it. You just will not make it. And I understand that completely, because he goes out and doorbells with me every day. He does my signs as far as putting them together. He does flyers for me, just whatever. He cooks dinner every night. All right. So he, just like he has stepped way out of his comfort zone in all of this stuff, really. And when you get the call, you just have to step up and do it. And I couldn't do it without you. I love you. So, what in the world would have possessed me to do something as idiotic as run for politics? I never wanted to do this. In fact, quite honestly, I still don't want to do it. But, as Senator Stevens mentioned, we are losing our liberties at a very, very rapid pace. And I felt that I was qualified with certain unique qualifications to step up and do something. So I thought, is this the United States of America, or is it not? Is this the land of opportunity where if you work hard, you can achieve things? Or is this some aristocratic country where you have to be born into a certain family? And so I said, I don't see anyone else doing it who has the understanding of the destructive power of government. George Washington, in fact, the quote's on my card if you ever see it. George Washington described government as a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Too many people think that the government is the end-all, be-all of everything, and that will serve us from cradle to grave and do everything for us. And I'm here to say, it was Samuel Adams that talked about let the chains rest lightly on you. Well, that's what happens when people depend on government. And certainly there are some that can't do it for themselves, but the vast majority of us can do it for ourselves. And when we live our own lives according to our dreams and go for it and not listen to people who will tell us, no, it's too hard, no, you can't do it. I was actually told that by so many people. When I first got into this, they wanted to know what committees I belonged to and what clubs I belonged to and what, groups and this and that and the other. And I said, are you kidding me? I've been running a business and raising a family, and I don't have time I've been trying to survive. And it's been amazing. And so I come from a unique background. I was raised in Indiana by my wonderful mother. She has done an amazing job. And we moved out here in 1990, and at the age of 16, I had a baby. But so you learn a lot when you make mistakes like that and you get yourself into a difficult situation. 16 is way too young to have a child. Way too young. It's way too young to be involved in that kind of activity that teenagers think that they know everything. Trust me. I've got one now. Yeah. But let me tell you, when you live the kind of life that I have lived, and that is one of working your way out of that kind of situation, the United States of America is the only country where I could be a 16-year-old mom, and I have the opportunity to get out of the poverty that I was in that situation because I wanted to work hard. 8 years after I had her, I own my own business, and now another 9 years later, I'm running for public office on the verge of victory. So to me, I had to do do this because the United States of America is the only place on earth where this kind of freedom and this kind of opportunity is available. It's unique. It's never been done before. Does anyone realize how wonderfully unique the United States of America is? If I got into the situation I was in another country, I don't think I'd be able to work my way out of it. I think that I would be stuck in that situation forever, and we dare not take our freedoms too lightly like we have been. They are worth. And so I am in love with the United States of America. I am. And I'm in love with her founders, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, two of the men that I admire most. They are unbelievably amazing individuals. If you ever get a chance to read books on them, I tell my daughter, I say, you know, we read about superheroes, Spider-Man or whomever. We read about fictional characters and we say, oh, no, people like that wouldn't exist. These are our founding fathers. We read about that. We read about them and we say, how can people like this actually exist? People that were so smart, people that were so good. Thomas Jefferson actually said, I would wish that, I'm paraphrasing because I don't speak 18th century English. He basically said, I would wish that all of my thoughts and all of my words would be made public because he had nothing to be ashamed about. And it is so exciting to me. And so that I could do something about it to preserve liberty, because I do believe that we will, as Senator Stevens mentioned, I am a believer, I'm a Christian. I do believe that we'll all be held accountable at the end of our lives. And I want to stand before God and say, I did what I could to preserve your freedoms. And I believe, as the Declaration of Independence states, that our freedoms come from God, because if they come from government, we're all in trouble. Because if they come from government, government can take them away.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you all. I appreciate you coming. Thank you, Senator Stevens, for coming. Thank you, Representative Pearson, for coming. Thank you all for coming. I know you have busy lives. I know you could have been doing any number of other things, so I sincerely appreciate it. And just one final thought that I wanted to leave with you guys, that I like to encourage people. That's just part of me. I like to encourage or edify people. This isn't even about me. I know that you're all here for a Heidi Munson, dinner. This is about you. This is about your families. This is about your children. This is about your grandchildren. Because for every one of us that is in the legislature, preserving your freedoms and preserving your liberties, that freedom will be preserved, and you will be able to teach your children and your grandchildren about it, so that they can grow up in the next generation and they can be those guardians of freedom. So I don't look at this as about Heidi Munson for state representative. I look at myself as one little piece in the armor of all of us who need to do all of our part to preserve this liberty, because if liberty is lost here, where will anyone find liberty? There is no new world. This is it. There's no place else. So, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.